It was foretold in the legends that there would be another video in the same crappy 4x3 format because he's playing on stretched resolution, but when recording it refuses to stretch. Nobody knows why. Ay. No, I'm just messing around. So apparently I'm gaining subscribers and fans for some reason, hitting people's home pages. So who knows what I'm gonna do? Maybe I'm gonna go back to crap posting like I did on this channel previously. Maybe I'll finally take advantage of my momentum and start doing Counter-Strike content. I've just never viewed myself as a specific game uploader, personally. I don't know what I would post about Counter-Strike, because after I have posted these ideas, I don't really know what else I could do, as I'm not really good at the game, and, you know, I don't know, maybe memeing around in casual. Maybe that's my calling. We'll see. Or maybe I'll disappear like I usually do, and then, you know, never come back and wonder why I never make it on either Twitch or YouTube. Anyway, I decided to make another video because there were still some leftover ideas that I didn't mention in the previous video. Hopefully these will be all of them, so I don't have to make a third one unless you want one for some reason. But yeah, so these are the leftover ideas, and I should be done with this series after that, unless of course I come up with some more ideas, but if not, then let's bid these stupid ideas farewell. In this video I have more ideas that the Counter-Strike community probably will hate, and we'll see what kind of stupid idea I can end this video on. Alright, hope you guys enjoy. Let's start with the idea that I think everyone can agree on within Counter-Strike. I have no idea why this is not a standard feature in Counter-Strike 2. It's so self-explanatory. So let me just show you. When you go to your loadout, you can just click Inspect Weapon, and then you can click Inspect on Player Model. This is good for people like me who are obsessed with themes. As you can see, I match everything. Not just, you know, gloves to guns. I match guns to gloves to character. Everything on my character, the yellow lines with the vest over here, and the gloves being goldish like the mask, and I went with the bloodhound snake bites instead of the yellow striped ones that I used to have because they stuck out a little bit too much. You can view the weapon in the hands of your character, so you know what it's going to look like. But it's a, you know, brain fart, if you will. If you go to a page and you click to inspect your gloves that you want to buy, you can see them here. Why is there no inspect on player model here? You know, you can't do this with gloves. You can do it with any other weapon in the game, however. Why? I don't get it. So Valve, please fix. While we are on the topic of themes, I'm about to request the most unnecessary feature you've ever heard of, but, you know, I'm literally emptying all of my ideas in this video, so this is going to be even stupider than the last one. Since I told you I'm obsessed with themes, I have a specific crosshair depending on which side I am on. Now this is a little lighter than I used to go in CSGO, because back in those days I literally had a separate crosshair for each keybind. I made an alias bind so that it would switch for WASD separately, shift had a crosshair, mouse click had a crosshair. Every single action in the game had a separate crosshair. It drove me nuts. It was completely useless. Took me a week to code. Super dumb. I don't want something like that. I can just remake it here anyway. The point that I want to do is I wish there was a way to have the crosshair match the HUD color for teams, or just the HUD color in general. Like there should be an option like color match HUD colors, because as you can see, I don't know if it's going to be visible in the video since my crosshair is so small and the quality might not be the best, but as you can see, it goes from yellow to blue. I have color picked the colors of CT and T's HUD in Photoshop and applied it to my crosshair. I am very particular with my themes. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but yeah, there you go. It's like goldish yellow for T, and I have a bind for that. Just click it on my keyboard. And then I have a blue crosshair for CT. depending on where I am in the game. So, yeah, it would be nice to have a crosshair that switches depending on which side you're on automatically, or to at least have crosshair matches HUD as an option. Either works for me. It would just be a cool feature so I don't have to clickety-clack between my two colors every time I switch teams, you know? It's too much to ask of me. I can't be bothered to click a button. Okay, Valve. Please fix. Lastly, regarding themes, okay, why can you not equip two different sprays for the different sides? What if I want to have the yellow spray on this guy because he's my yellow broski, and on this side I have the red eye boy. I want this one over here, but if I switch that, it switches for both sides, as you can see. It would be nice to have those two separated so you can have separate sprays for the separate sides, you know? And there you go. I just justified it. Valve, now you owe me, okay? You have to fix it because I just wasted one of my sprays in a completely empty game. One of my 740 sprays there, you know? It's totally worth it. It cost me 2 pennies, okay? So please. Oh, this video is so unnecessary, but I'm doing it for you guys. Come on now. On a more serious note now, pushing themes aside, I'm about to trigger the entire Counter-Strike community, but it is what it is. This is my most controversial opinion of all, but it is what it is. Yes, you're seeing it right there in the corner. You see it, and some of you are still triggered because you saw it in the beginning of the video when I clicked my loadout. You saw it. This guy has the revolver equipped. I can't trust him. I know. Hear me out though. Here's the thing. See, when the revolver came out, it was infamous. I get it. It was overpowered beyond all recognition, pocket op, all the memes. But here is the thing though. Something that makes me mad about Counter-Strike, and I've made countless comments on this on people's videos. Why are you guys so stubborn to change? I don't understand that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we should bring back the old R8. That was terrible, okay? But what I mean with change is that why is it that as soon as any other weapon is viable other than the AK, M4, AWP, and Deagle, you freak out. It's overpowered, needs to be nerfed into the ground, yada yada. That's not balanced, people. Your idea of balance is as long as the M4 and AK remain meta, it's balanced, and everything else it just should be in the background, you know. If they add a new weapon, yeah, it's gonna be cool for about a week, but we're just gonna put it in our inventory to fill up the slot, but we're never gonna buy it. It's just there, you know. Because if it becomes meta, then it's clearly overpowered, and nobody should use it, and they should nerf it into the ground. Like when the SG was considered overpowered and they nerfed it into the ground and now nobody uses it and everyone's like, yeah, Valve, you fixed it, great, AK is the meta again. You've been buying the AK and M4 for the past, what, 30 years, people. Please. Why is your idea of balance that the AK and M4 should be on top always? I understand that Counter-Strike is a very delicately balanced game that you love, and the most minute change can mess it up. I understand that, but you cannot tell me that your idea of a good game is when you have, like, what, 4 weapons that people use and everything else. When was the last time you bought a PP Bison outside of a meme game? When was the last time you bought anything other than the M4 when you had full money on the CT side and you're not the opper? You know, why do we do the same smoke lineups, the same weapons on the same maps? Ever since they took out D2, you've been spamming Mirage. What is it with the Counter-Strike community and doing the same thing on repeat like a robot? Please, why are you so defensive against change? I don't understand that. Was the SG really overpowered? I mean, people slept on it for years and you called it the Call of Duty gun, but then some people proved it was useful and then all of a sudden, oh, now it needs to be nerfed, of course, because now it was useful. It's a gun that costs more than the AK, therefore it should be better than the AK, in my opinion, because that's the point. But now it costs more than the AK and nobody uses it anymore because it was nerfed to the ground, and that's finally, once again, your idea of balance. Take the gun out, game fixed. Or could it be that the SG was never really overpowered? You're just not used to countering it like the AK that you've been fighting for the past 30 years. Maybe we would have invented counter strats for that weapon eventually had it been in the meta long enough. Because keep in mind, you're comparing a completely new weapon that you're not used to handling versus the AK that you've been used to countering for the past 30 years or however long. Like what, Counter-Strike came out in 99, I believe. So there you go. I mean, so I'm not saying bring back the old SG, I'm not saying bring back the old R8, but they should be fixed. Because you cannot tell me that it's fixed when nobody uses it. That's not fixed. That's broken the other way around. Nobody's using it. It's trash. I think we can all agree on that. So, in the spirit of that, to my main point that I wanted to bring up, the R8 revolver. It's pointless now. Nobody uses it. Well, I mean, sure, in meme games, casual, silver games, you mess about, maybe when you're smurfing or whatever, you know. Sure, but nobody uses it seriously, and it's all because of one major flaw. I have no fixes for the other weapons because those are complicated, but the R8 I have an idea for. The one single reason nobody uses this weapon is because of this. It takes a few extra microseconds for it to fire. It's like a weapon that has 50 layers of VSync on top of it. The input lag is insane. It's like, ah! You know, and it slows you down and does all that crap. Here is my suggestion. Why not make it so that he cocks back the, well, hammer every single time he fires the weapon. You fire it and then he cocks it back with his thumb, and then it shoots immediately when you click it, like the Deagle would. And then you're saying, well, then it's just a more powerful Deagle. Then, yeah, I know the idea of nerfing your gun into the ground is terrifying, but this gun being in the trash bin, you know, that's perfectly fine, right? Counter-Strike community in a nutshell. But hear me out for a second. I'm not saying to make it as fast as the Deagle. That's my exact thing. Make him cock back the firing pin or hammer, but make it extremely slow. Okay, make it so slow that you might still actually consider the Deagle. The reason I'm saying this is because at that point it's basically a slower, more precise Deagle. Now, will this fix the R8? I don't think so, but people would at least start considering it again because it's a more precise, more movement-friendly Deagle. So either you have the faster firing, have to stand still, super, you know, you have to work your angles right Deagle, or you have a more movement-free, more precise, but very, very slow Deagle, meaning that if you miss your shots, you gotta make them count, because if you miss them, you're dead. Because you miss one shot, he's not going to have time to cock it back again. I want to make it a risk-reward weapon, because at that point, we have finally balanced the R8 simply because now, much like the P2000 versus the USP, it is no longer trash versus the obvious choice of the Deagle. Now it's actually a choice you have to consider. Am I a precise shooter that moves around a lot, or do I stand still and hold angles correctly with the Deagle and I counter-strafe correctly, and I want to fire a little faster because I don't mind that I miss sometimes because of the random bullet nature of the Deagle at times. Do you see what I'm saying? Now it's a preference instead of I'm going to go with the Deagle because who the hell uses, or, you know, the alternative of, I mean, the level of inaccuracy of this weapon when you're doing this, I'll give you 200 knives if you manage to shoot somebody in window with an op with the R8 from top mid, okay, using the alternate fire, you know. It's like it's not gonna happen, and that offer is a joke, okay? Don't send me videos of you hitting that just because I'm not gonna send you the knives. That was a joke, okay? Just want to make that clear. I'm not that rich, okay? So yeah, anyway, I'm just stating my sour opinion on the CS community in this regard, and then of course spitballing my idea on how to fix the beautiful R8, because it's a wonderful addition to the game, and it's just sad to see that nobody uses it when it's one of the most unique weapons in the game. I mean, it's the only revolver in the game, and it's so cool. And I just wish that so many other weapons would get fixed, but we are so hyper focused on fixing maps, fixing skins, fixing the meta weapons over and over and over again, rebalancing the M4A4 for the 50 billionth time, fixing the silenced M4 to make it less accurate, fixing the AK. Like, I'm so tired of seeing the same weapons on the same maps with the same smokes, with the same teams in the same cities, in the same LAN events. Like, dude, Counter-Strike has to be the most stubborn community I've ever seen when it comes to change. My God, please, for the love of God. I know this is very opinionated, unlike my previous video, but I had to get this off my chest, man. Because every time you say this in the comments, man, they take you down, man. They take you down. Your opinion is invalid, man. But I mean, come on, wouldn't it be cool to see just one new weapon be used in a pro play? Imagine somebody busts out the R8, simple, comes around the corner and just, oof, there you go, the coolest play you've ever seen in your life. And now everybody starts using the R8, and that one guy that bought all the R8 skins for 2 pennies is finally gonna get rich, because now that simple touched the revolver, now all of a sudden the Amber Fade goes for $2 million, whoopity-doo. I'm just saying, people, I'm just saying. So, tell me what you think. I don't know. And sorry about the rant, but seriously, guys, man, you can't tell me I'm wrong, though, You can tell me that you think I'm wrong, but you can't tell me I'm wrong, because come on, man. It's been the same game for a little too long, man. We need a little bit of spice of change. Not too much, just a little, a little bit of, I'm just saying. I'm starting to have like an existential crisis. I realized in 99% of my clips I'm just standing still, talking, ranting. Maybe I should cut in some surf footage, while I'm talking to get all the Gen Z attention, like Subway Surfer or something. Bring back the leafy style of videos, What's up, guys? Let's talk about a story. Maybe next time, guys, maybe next time. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about is regarding flashbangs. A couple of things about them, actually. So, the first thing is, like most players, I'm not saying all, there are exceptions, of course, I play with a very low sensitivity. Some people do it for precision. I do it because I suck at the game. What I mean by that is, every firefight, I'm panicking, man. So the slower my sense is, the less I overshoot when I'm panicking. Okay, I'm just joking. I'm not that bad, but that used to be my excuse, but not anymore. It's been a couple of years of playing. But the thing is, there's a downside to having a low sensitivity, and that is flashbangs and the 180 move. See, if a flashbang comes my way with my super low sensitivity, I can only do half a turn. And I know it's like, why don't you just have a sensitivity where you can turn 180? I mean, if I flick away my entire mouse, then maybe. Why do you play with such a low sensitivity? Well, again, it's my preference. I like to have it this low. But I can't avoid flashbangs. That's the problem. So I came up with an idea that might fix this. And this would finally fix the whole trade-off. Now, what I'm talking about there is, that was the choice you always made, right? Have a low sensitivity and struggle to avoid flashbangs and turn around slowly and so on and so forth. Or you could turn around fast, but then you sacrifice precision in the micro level, so to speak. That was the trade-off between fast and slow sensitivity. But I figured, why not give people the option to have the best of both worlds? What I mean by that is, put in a instant 180 button. Have that as a keybind so that your character instantly turns around. Now, I'm not talking, in one frame, just teleport your screen to the other side, but just a quick turn. Like Resident Evil 4, if you've ever played that game on PS2, there used to be a button, you click that and back, and then he instantly made a 180 so that you could turn around faster. The problem with this is, like my friend pointed out, that could be abused in all kinds of scenarios. You know, maybe you hear somebody coming up behind you, click the button, and then you instantly shoot him, and he was planning to knife you, maybe, or something, and that kind of ruins the fun in that. But, you know, then you could also make the argument, what if that guy had a fast sensitivity? It would be the same thing, right? So I don't really know how I feel about this. This one is a very I didn't want to really implement this into the video, but I decided to anyway, simply because, again, I'm emptying all of my ideas, and hopefully I will not get any more stupid ones. I don't have to make another video, but you never know. The point is, I would like a 180 button in this game, if possible, you know, so you could just quickly turn around, because my solution currently is this. See, I don't have a DPI button on my mouse. Well, I do, but I use all of my buttons on my mouse. My DPI button is for flashbangs. My 50 billion side buttons are for different grenades and all sorts of things. I take advantage of everything because I hate moving my movement key fingers. I grew up on console when I was a kid, and I came to realize that that's why I hate it. You know, you always switch things with like triangle, circle, or B or whatever on Xbox and PlayStation. You never take your thumb off the movement stick, okay? You use your look stick to usually click things and button things and so on and so forth. That's what I'm used to. I love being in movement while I'm doing things. I need to be on the move. That's how I like to play. The problem is, you know, if I have to move my fingers off WASD, you know, that's how you switch on PC. On PC, it's your movement keys you let go of, because you know, you click 3, you click 2 to get your weapons out, and for a split second you let go of your movement keys, and that annoys me. So I just put everything on my mouse. That's why, you know, that's why I don't have a DPI switch. Now, that has nothing to do with my idea. I'm sorry for the whole explanation, but in case somebody was wondering, you know, I gave my justification for it. So everything is on my mouse. Every single weapon bind, everything is on there. So I don't have a DPI switch. So how did I solve it? Well, I made an alias bind so that when I click my Alt key, I get a super high sensitivity. So I click it down. Now I can fucking spin all over the place. You know, I just woo all over the place. And that's how, when there's a flashbang coming in, I just click it fast, turn away, and then turn back, and then, you know, as soon as I let go of the Alt key, I'm back to my super slow sensitivity. So turbo and slow. Those are my two settings. So that's the way I solved it. So technically you could say that I don't need this type of button, but the fact that I had to finick around and make an alias bind just to solve this minor issue, and also to justify my idea, you can't say that it would ruin the game because I just described, because of my alias bind, it is technically already in the game. You know, you just have to make your own code for it, you know. So there's that. So I don't know, but again, the 180 button is such a weird idea, and it is such a dumb one. I mean, literally, just get a DPI switch, bro. That's what it is. So that's why this idea is a little you know. Think of it what you will, I don't know, you know. So yeah. Second thing regarding flashbangs, this is a bit more serious actually. This is a very serious suggestion, and I think they should implement it into the game. I believe Valve replied to this back in the day. I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I read it on some forum that some guy suggested this. This is not my idea. I am just bringing it to my video because, once again, who knows, maybe my video becomes the big discussion starter, and in case that's the thing, then Valve will hopefully see it, and then we can talk about this. In most games these days, there's an option to turn everything like flashes and other effects to dark. So if I throw a flashbang, my screen goes white. I'm so sorry for blinding all the people watching this in the middle of the night on their phones. Excuse me. But the screen turns white. Everybody knows that. Somebody suggested that there should be an option to make the flashbangs black. Make it turn your screen black. This would hurt people with eye problems, you know, disabilities, what have you. I made the hearing impaired suggestion last time, so now we're talking about the eye people. We need to have an option where you can make the flashbangs black. especially for little hermits like me that never leave their house. All I do is play Counter-Strike all day, every day, you know. That's the life, you know, that's the only way to get good at this game. Employment is but a distant Narnia dream. Man, this video is getting personal, isn't it? Nah, but hey, maybe YouTube will become a full-time job if these videos kick off my career, you know? Nah, but jokes aside, guys, seriously now, we need to be able to make these black, simply because, again, sitting in the middle of the night, you know, like a hermit, I don't leave my house, you know, there's no lights on, flashbang turns white, and my eyes, they're burning out of their sockets, and I need eye surgery, okay? I can't afford to pay for the eye surgery, Valve, okay? I wasted that money on your knives, okay? No, but jokes aside here, and he's running the standard knife. I mean, what is he talking about? Okay, they are in my inventory. I don't like equipping them. I know, I'm crazy like that. Sue me. Actually, I just have one, and it's on the T side. Long story. It's regarding themes. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it. Okay, let me have my particular ticks in peace. But anyway, I want the flashbangs to turn black. But to the main point now, what Valve replied to that is that they can't because it would make the performance of the game go crazy. And some guy in the forum explained that the reason they can't do that is because when your screen turns black, according to this guy, I don't know if this is true, your graphics card interprets that as your computer going into some form of screen saving mode or hypersleep mode. So it turns off a couple of processes. So, you know, when your screen goes into hypersleep mode and it just turns black, it thinks that's what the computer is doing if you were to be flashed for a particular amount of seconds. And because of that, the graphics card needs to like reboot the whole process, and that would, you know, mess with the frame rate, and it would get you most likely killed, you know. So that's the problem with that. I don't know if it's solvable. I came up with the dumb idea of like, hey, can't we make the flashbangs gray? But then, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between flashbangs and smoke grenades, you know, standing in the middle of them. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to solve it, but darker flashbangs would be nice because genuinely it is an eyesore every single time when the flashbangs go off. I have solved this now by putting lights on in my apartment around my monitor to make it less straining for my eyes, you know. But the problem is, Valve, that is bumping up my electrical bill, okay? So please, please bring me them black flashbangs, please. Listen, you can make it a skin, okay? Let me buy black flashbangs as a cosmetic item, okay? I'll pay for it. I'll pay the 2 pennies it's gonna go for on the market, okay? Just make it a thing, please. I beg you. And then we can start talking about, you know, blue and red smoke grenades for all the cool people, or maybe you'll have a fade one that blows a particular color rainbow scheme for $2 million. Who knows? But anyway, seriously though. Jokes aside now, black flashbangs, please. That would be really, really cool. Alright. Please fix. By the way, here is proof, okay? I wasn't lying, guys. Please believe me. Look, I have boy. Now, I know it's a budget knife, but at least it's something, okay? Please do that. Alright. Back to the video. Okay, but I think that's about everything, guys. There is one last idea that I'm gonna spitball here. And the thing is, I don't know about this one either, because it's giving me Call of Duty vibes, and I don't know. I don't know if I want to implement anything Call of Duty-esque into this game. But there is one thing that Call of Duty did good back in the day, and it has nothing to do with the gameplay. So before you sue me for even suggesting such a thing, hear me out. The thing that I would like to be implemented into Counter-Strike that Call of Duty has done over the years. Now, of course, they stopped and they exchanged this with the Battle Pass and whatever. But do you remember back in the day when Modern Warfare 2 was a thing? I'm talking about the original one. And you had, hey, get 150 headshots to get a specific camo or whatever. You know, small little challenges. If you've noticed in Counter-Strike, all you have are ranks. That's all you grind. There is no real progression, and I've noticed that's the #1 thing that makes me quit this game after playing it, you know, consecutively for a couple of months. we always get bored of games and stuff like that after a while. But the number one thing for me in Counter-Strike is that you realize that the ranks are all there is. Like, sure, there is the XP bar, and you get a case now every week, or graffiti, or whichever you choose, but there's nothing else to really focus on or to do. Either you have the ranks in competitive, or you have the ranks in Wingman, or now you have the ELO in Premier. But that's just another rank again. Like, it's just rank upon rank upon rank. There is nothing else. And that also contributes, I think, to the toxicity of this game, because it brings out the absolute most competitive nature in people, because that's all there is to the game. I mean, there's no reason to play casual. The only reason you play casual is to warm up for a real game, or you play team deathmatch. And why do you practice for that? Well, you want to play ranked games so you can rank up. That's the only thing you grind. I noticed that. So what am I suggesting? Wouldn't it be nice to have, I don't know, weeklies and dailies? I'm not talking like a battle pass. I hate that sort of things. Like, don't even get me started, okay? I'm not talking about like a weekly challenge of... I'm talking simply like, hey, this week, not a specific seasonal timed FOMO thing. I'm talking, just like the XP bar now, have an extra system where, hey, if you get 5 headshots this game today, randomly, you'll get a 2-penny skin, just like the XP bar, or something. Just something to keep you playing the game. And now there's like a monetary reason, so that's like an extra thing. It's like Call of Duty, but even better, because not only are you getting camo, you're actually getting money. And I'm sure you're getting 2 pennies, nobody cares, but you keep grinding that, you're going to have enough money to buy a semi-decent skin for at least, like, I don't know, $10 in a couple of months. That's a thing. You can do that. That's the cool part of it. Now, of course, that's once again a little iffy idea of mine, simply because it would probably crash the economy and so on and so forth. It would have all kinds of implications, because it would get overflown with crappy skins, and people would be selling the crappy skins to get better skins, and then the better skins would lose their value because everybody can afford them now after a couple of months, blah, blah, blah. You change one thing in an economy and the whole thing crashes. I understand it's not as easy. And the other thing it would ruin is probably... if people focus only on their challenges, then you're going to have the Call of Duty effect, no team-based anything. Everybody is just focusing on their own thing, because, oh, I got to do my weekly, I got to get my 10 headshots, screw planting the bomb, screw, focusing on the game's objective anymore. I want to get my collateral, so I get my golden eagle or whatever, So when I say challenges, I mean only things that would naturally occur in the game. Because if you have weeklies like get a knife kill, then people are going to be running around with knives, losing the game for you simply because they want that, challenge complete. So we can't have stuff like that. I'm talking, natural things like, hey, get 2 kills today, get 1 headshot today, stuff that will occur under the natural gameplay of Counter-Strike. Plant the bomb on site A, or something like that, And it should only be effective in casual, giving casual a purpose outside of a warm-up session. Now you have a reason to play casual, outside of just, practicing for competitive. Competitive can be about ranks, and competitive should remain exactly the way it is. I just think, it would be fun to have casual have a little bit of flair to it, and see people completing challenges, and it would bring a lot more laughter to the games, simply because, I don't know, instead of focusing on the exact same competitive grind that you do, and casual has just become this rankless, anger-inducing competitive mode that people take way too seriously for some reason. Instead, it would be, hey, let's spectate Joey. Joey's got to complete this super stupid task. It's going to be super fun to watch him try to complete that while he's solo clutching against these guys or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It could bring some fun stuff out of it, and I mean strictly for casual. But again, given that this is the Counter-Strike community, they will not want to change Ooh, I changed the path. Ooh, what do you know? No, but yeah, so they do not want change, and on top of that, it's gonna change the gameplay and all that stuff. So I'm really about this one. Like I said, my first video was more of my serious ideas that I actually stand by. This video is a little bit more complicated, kind of more opinionated, you know, and yeah. So these ideas are not 100%. This was just to empty my notes on my phone and then have the Counter-Strike community exile me, you know. This is my farewell letter, you know. No, but yeah, so that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think that's all of my ideas, and hopefully, like I said, I will not have to make another one. If I do, you know, Lord help us all. Told y'all I have a knife, okay? I will commit seppuku now just because the Counter-Strike community wants me to. No, but okay. Just like the last video, I want to end it on something stupid. And last time I didn't manage to crash my PC, so this one is also going to be a fail because this was in the beginning of Counter-Strike 2. They've probably patched it, and I haven't been able to recreate it myself anyway. But I have a witness. Let's see if it happens. I will explain if it doesn't. Yeah, okay, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me, lamp. Please. Please. Oh, boy. Come on now. Alright, it's not working. I'm sorry, guys. It's another disappointing ending. Maybe this will be my theme. My closer is disappointments. Just like me to my dad. Nah, but seriously, guys. So what happened here, I can't recreate it. I've only done it once, and I'm sorry to say my shadow play was not working the first time when it happened, but I had a witness. My friend was standing right here. We were playing Ancient. We were just chilling, having a good time. And for some reason, I knifed the lamp somehow specifically, or whatever I did. I shot it, I think, and I jumped into it. And my character got stuck in it. Okay, like I was floating in the lamp. I managed to clip into it, and then as soon as I touched my keyboard to the left, I pressed D. You know, it's like when you turn SV gravity to 5,000. Okay, so my character just broke his legs and flew into the roof, and we started laughing, and we tried to recreate it all day, but we couldn't. I just wanted to showcase it, but we have no idea how I did it, unfortunately. I don't know if I shot a specific glass panel and got stuck on the other ones, but I'm putting it out there so that maybe you guys can find how to recreate it and tell me. I love finding little glitches like this, but for all I know, maybe they fixed this in some patch note that I didn't read. So yeah, but now you know about this secret lamp on Ancient. I swear to God, man, I got stuck somehow, and it was the funniest thing you've ever seen. I want to recreate it, but I can't. But anyway, those were my ideas, and sorry for the lengthier version than last time, and I'm sorry that I sound tired and a little bit sad and pessimistic maybe. I'm just very tired, and I didn't even want to make a second video, to be honest, but one person told me in the comments of the previous one that I was on his homepage, so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. You never know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys had a good time at least. Had a couple of laughs at my stupid humor. I guess I'll see you guys on the battlefield, or whatever cringy closer people use to be cool. If you see this name and this profile picture, you know it's me. Unless I decide to change it to be sneaky. Who knows? But yeah. Alright guys. See you in the game. Have a nice day, and thank you once again for watching. And if you watched the whole way through, have a high five and a beautiful day. Alright. Take care.